Hi, here I have two projects. One is about sending alerts. Another one is about for each loop. In the sending alerts, I have used a while loop where I have used regression technique. I call the same. This I have two flows here. One flow is the main flow where the scheduler kicks it, and the other flow which calls this flow. For example, this flow reference it should be ideally call while flow. So this call while flow calls it here. Once it comes, it creates a notification to my uh, sorry. It creates some sample notification here. At the moment, I have around 2700, right? Show all notifications I have. So this alerts has a limitation of 1000 per application per day. So I can make all as read. So now everything should go. So I have total around 1087 alerts here created. So it's very easy when you have alerts for each application. For this instance, I have created this alert based on this create alert component, notification component here. It's going to say that there is a problem connecting your backend database, right? So this will push everything here. Also, I have kept one notification for the alerts that we will see. Check application. It's going to check the entire notification we are sending, and we're going to see the condition contains database. If there is a database in your alert, for example, it is here. It is the last one I have added, last word. If if this alert, this the text found in your alert, then it's going to shoot an email to this email ID, right? So so when you create alerts, you can create it for servers and applications, right? This time you have to create applications for this can happen only for cloud web applications, and your application name is alerts sample application. So it created view. So now we are going to see how it's going to. I'm going to debug this application and see how this works. So I am calling, for example, I will start from here. My flow will start here, and it's gonna call while API. This call while API has a variable. So prior to that, I have a counter variable. Sorry for this one. It's not needed. So I have a counter variable. So this is my counter variable. It is having initialize been one. Then after that, I'm calling this flow. So I think the flow is there. So once I call this flow, the counter will be increased. And I have a choice router where I'm checking whether the counter is lesser than 10. If it's lesser than 10, I'm going to create a notification in my Cloud Hub and call the same API, right? So it's a regression. Then if you call here, let's see what it is having. The counter is 10 already because we haven't put any. Let me put a breakpoint here. Then if this counter is more than 10, it is going to raise an exception. Then so next time it came here and it's going to create a notification. Yes, and it's going to call the same while loop again, while loop flow. Uh, this has a downside. What is the downside is it's going to throw warning here. For example, you are going to have, so this is the warning you will be seeing, found a infinite regression involving flows named while. So this, but this warning will not worry us. but it has a limitation of 90 to 80. If you call more than 90 to 80 regression, it's gonna this whole flow is gonna end throwing an error exception. Let me show you that also. I let it go, so it has thrown an exception. So it's gonna end, happily go there. Let me put a to logger, and it is done. It has raised an error message. So this logger. So let's observe this console, what it throws. So this is one way of handling the while loop problem in Mule using regression inside the flow. But the other one, which I'm going to show after this execution, is about using for each efficiently. Rather having for each, we will create a variable of having a array variable which will contain only Boolean integer, that we will use it in for each. Then we will execute our loops, right? So it has contain. So now it is done. So created on 10 notifications and it is completely successful. So this is my exception I have thrown. Now the second, every 20 seconds I have scheduler. So that also has started now. So we will see whether it has successfully created the. So go to the applications runtime manager and see in here you have a new 845. You have 52 notifications unread. So this is one way of doing it. But in production or in the real life scenario, you don't want to do it like this. Since I have to check this alerts, so I have created like similar to this one. So I will stop this application, go to the other one. So this is improved, little bit improved version. This also has some downtime. I have seen the latency. I mean, executing this, I have one. So I'm using for each here first of all. Firstly, I have a for each here where I have to have a collection, right? That collection I'm creating depends on the record count. For example, this is a situation where I'm getting number of records or from database is 38,000. So where I have to paginate it. It supports pagination natural. If I say that offset and the page number, it gives me the right number of records. For example, if the offset is 10 and I'm asking 100 records, then it will go to the 10th 900 to 1000 records it will return, right? So in that case, so here this is the one is helping me to create a collection of booleans, right? This is also using regression. um, so prepare list is the one. Prepare list will first it will contain an empty array, then it will pass it to this method. That method actually checks if the size of the list is maximum of 10,000 this is actually again a function. Here I can say 5 or 10. constant as well, but I'm taking the number of records. If I divide it by 10, right, how much time, how many times I have to batch this one. So that is what I'm trying to find out here. So let this also run in debug mode so that we can understand it properly. So here we are, like in order to make this one happen, right, we need a variable. So that variable is gonna be a array of booleans. For example, if I need to iterate the value into 1000, then I have to have like this transform component. Let it go. So you'll see what is a variable contains. So the variable will contain like this. For each is a variable. For loop is a variable. There I have a like this, right? So I'm creating a collection of 3000. So if you um, divide this 38,000, oopsie, this is a wrong thing, right? 30,000. So record count as a mod of, so we'll check what is this one. So something is going on wrong. It shouldn't be the 3000. So we'll see 38,000 mod. Okay, okay, there is something gone wrong because it should be like 4 times. That's it. So if I do percentage, it's gonna be throwing error. So let's not go into that one. I am also, so the instead of this one, I'm gonna say number of 10,000, a thousand, right? So it's gonna create. So this, okay, there is some issue here as well. Okay, that was the issue. I'm going to delete the payload. I'm going to only keep the variable here. So here it is. We will see what it is quickly. There's it has size of 1 and it has so it has something in it, but once we have two variables now. One is having this thing. So it has 1,000 true values uh, in this collection, right? So in that collection, we are going to iterate it here. So it's going to take forever. This is a sample application, a sample implementation of having for each in our for loop. For example, if you want to just iterate a collection per thousand times, right? That time it will be very helpful. So, example implementation scenario is I'm having a stored procedure supports batch value where I have 38,000 records. Now I have to batch them um, into if I take 5,000 records per ride, for say that we have 10,000 records, I'm going to batch it for 1,000 records per time. So that time it's gonna I need a for each for 10 times, right? So that time it's gonna be very helpful. So I will have this one. I need to find out how many times I have to repeat this loop. So it's going to be 10 times in that case, right? So 10 times I will execute this one and execute the stored procedure by passing the number of badges. For example, this the page number it will be like this. First time it will be 1,000, second time it will be 2,000, third time it will be I will be getting 3,000. So 10 times I have to execute this one. So based on the batch number, before to in order to work made it work, you need to know the page total number of rows. Then you will be able to easily do it.